These numbers just coming out. It looks like a big beat here. 150 EPS versus 130. The company also saying that it's going to suspend its dividend. We're hearing from Carl Icahn on Twitter, who's praising this decision. I want to go over to Julie Hyman, who has a little more on this company that has been well, in the thick of it, shall we say. A lot of controversy.
Yes, and what you're referring to, of course, is Pershing Square's Bill Ackman calling the company a pyramid scheme and continuing to attack it in various ways. It's also under investigation by the FBI, also by the Illinois Attorney General, among others. But business continues to go gangbusters. The company's earnings rising more than estimated, sales also doing well, and the company is raising its forecast for the year for both earnings and for sales, now looking for 10 to 12% sales growth for the full year, had seen 7.5% to 9.5%. Now, you mentioned that the company is stopping its dividend. It's doing that so it can use that cash to buy back more stock. And that is really key here, because one of the sort of tools in its arsenal, if you will, in the fight against Bill Ackman has been this sort of promise or threat, if you will, of being able to buy back shares in order to bring up the stock price. Ackman, of course, has shorted the stock. He shorted it both outright and through options. And so folks who are supporters of the company have said this is something that they would be able to use at some point in order to bring that stock price back up. They've used it in part already, and now they're going to be deploying even more cash away from the dividend and towards this. The company says it's going to buy back $266 million worth of its own shares in May and June for a total in its fiscal second quarter of about $581 million. So we are seeing that positive reaction.
One of the things that's interesting, I'm just looking at Carl Icahn's Twitter feed here, and he writes, quote, "Great move by HLF to suspend dividend and buy back shares. HLF accelerates return to shareholders, confirms confidence in the future." A little bit ironic to hear someone like Carl saying suspend the dividend is a good thing, but he does like the idea of a buyback, and we've seen that, of course, from him before, and buybacks do usually signal confidence in the future. Do we have the after-hours trading on this one? I think it's down about 1% here on the news. You can actually no trading higher now by about 0.6%. So, you know, Julie, as you were alluding to earlier, this has been such a source of controversy between Icahn and Pershing Square. So sort of day by day, seeing who comes out ahead on this one.
Yeah, and Ackman is apparently preparing to release a short documentary with folks he says have been harmed by the company. That's supposed to come out later this week. So that's his latest salvo.